now mow. Things do now grow. Tangents now sow.
The network is alive! I feel the signals! Burning truths connecting the dots! They can't stop the flow!
Woo! 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 We're back! Another week has passed. Man, that was quick. That was quick. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Monday on the 11th of May to DiscussThing's Tangent Kings. And we are back again in full force. We have someone returning, escaping the nether realms of his prison. Kai Schwarzer is back with us. Welcome back, Kai. It is good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well, you're in good health, and you're in good spirits.
I've seen things in my other realm that no man should possibly discover.
Also, we're outnumbered. This starting to look like Old White Road. We're the two fletchlings. The cartoons outnumber us.
Yep, we're disappearing. We're gonna be assimilated by the AI, by the VTubers.
next Jason Helzo will become VTubers as well.
Oh no! If that happens, someone just fly here and do the Minecraft on me, please. Nothing against VTubers, but I like my fat old self too much.
We like being flesh creatures.
Yes, we like the fleshies.
We got two people who want to be cartoons, two people who aren't cartoons, and one cartoon who wants to be a real boy by the end of this month. Okay, wants being the operative word, but it is great to see everyone. We've had a great start to today's show, great start to today's week. Of course, the weekend has just ended. How was your guys' weekend?
I had some oranges. I didn't know what they were for, but I got some oranges.
God, my bowl satisfied me real quick while I was at the Red.
Did anyone go to a park and live stream with hot milks there?
Yeah.
No. So your weekend wasn't as good as some other people. But before we forget before we get into orange territory, we need to get into green territory because this is very special for me and for the channel. I have the first person who ever became a member on this channel. I don't know if you know what kind of a huge boost to that. This absolute legend. I love him, Clayton. 19 months. Nice. Been here since the beginning. First day that I got monetized and approved, he became a member and hasn't left ever since. Appreciate it, brother. And it's much better to see the green than to see the orange. Although we do appreciate orange stuff here. So if you do want to provide us with green windows, yellow windows, orange windows, or red windows, you can go ahead and super chat or get the membership to your fellow commentator. So thank you very much for that. We have a huge topic, and it was supposed to be a few other topics as well, but I don't know if we're gonna get because things happened during the weekend, and they were massive, and we have to talk about them because as much as we haven't talked in the last couple of shows about what's been going on with our dear Quartering and everything around him, what happened recently affects every single person in the communities because it showcases too many stuff to ignore. And we need to address that in order to be, first of all, truthful and to be on point with the current events and to keep you guys informed. With that said, I would like to present the panel. And I will start with the co-host, who is also representative as the official defendant of coffee brand Coffee, Mr. Digny. Hello, Digny.
Oh, This lame apology comes courtesy of Coffee Brand Coffee. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It's the dignified cartoon quartering here, also known as Pigger Boy, also known as Dignylander, also known as Gay Digny. Plus, Kim Jong Digny. I have so many, but we're going to settle with the dignified quartering. That's something he'll never be. I really want to use this, but I'm waiting until my new Black Street. I'm waiting until my new Black Street debut.
This is what happens when you're on the internet too much. You just become a schizophrenic.
Quite frankly, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Better be a schizophrenic than someone who lets other men bang his wife.
Oh,
very true. Very true.
For the record, I was talking about Jack Murphy.
I also
oh, you got us there.
Or I also like banging other men's wives, like Melanie Mack, because her husband's a queer, and Chrissy Mayer because her hole is, well, it's been opened up a lot recently, and I don't know who Hannah Claire is, but she's got to be willing. Oh, I'm
Jeremy. Is that
Hunt.
you?
Yeah. But no, it's great to see everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Guys, I told you it was blood coffee. It quite literally was blood coffee.
I just realized the Pigger does work for this topic too. Just you're not hambly, you're ham black.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Which just goes, Digny
or
brand
just ham.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dignity. Digny brand dignity. And who's our sponsor for this show? Dignitas. Are you sick of your life? Come to Switzerland and end it for a modest fee. But in all seriousness, folks, we're going to have a fantastic show today. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. Hopefully, I don't know how many likes we are away from 20 likes, but the closer the better. We want to make these shows more like 3. So we got 17 likes currently. We want to make these shows, folks, events, not just shows, but events, which is why we're going to have big, bold, bellicose topics that we can just talk about for an hour and just really, really penetrate it. We're going to be Jeremy's bull for today's show, and we're really going to penetrate the topic, okay? No matter what you guys want to think about it. But let's catch up with the rest of the panel, and we're going to start off with Kai, who has a wonderful Jonah and the Whale story he's going to tell us about. Take it away, Kai.
Yes, after many months of exploring a very vast, open, and wet space, I finally found myself a wall where I could finally slash my way out to freedom, like slashing through a tauntaun, only to find out that a lot of bullshit has been going on since I've been away, especially since some people that used to be quote unquote respectable turn out to be the fucking lolcows that they were making fun of not that long ago.
Yeah. Very dangerous, man. It's very dangerous. It just goes to show every year this happens. I've noticed every year a once great pillar turns to dust, and I'm sure the same will be true in 2027, 2028, and in the years to come. So how about you, Galaxy? How have you been?
Been all right. Just doing my usual stuff. I got my stream on Saturday for Breath of Fire 2. Did pretty well on that too. So just
good.
Good.
And hopefully you're having a good start to your week. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it's all right.
Would you like to buy my black coffee with oranges?
No, not really.
Surely everyone here wants a glass of juice. What?
What did you say?
That's right, Mr. Benoit. You cannot stop the juice.
The juice. You cannot stop the juice.
Yeah,
at least you like stopped it right there, so I didn't see the whole thing.
Look, we are too powerful. How about you, Jace? How have you been? How was your weekend?
Recovering because I spent Friday just spending time with my girlfriend. After Thursday's show, where Dignity discovered that, thanks to Maverick and Piggy Boy for helping create whatever that is. But
thank you for just bringing the end of my channel.
Just
this is the third permanent host of New Blackstreet.
Thank you. This is the last time. I'm happy that you're
from
here
a man in Nigeria who owned a microplay who looked like that. But that's another story for another day.
He's from Nigeria.
Yes, and just been gaming, enjoying just getting things done. Did a little work before I got here at the day job because I am in the process of taking over an entire company hostilely because I need to eat and make money. And I feel actually surprisingly very at peace and good about that. I didn't think it would feel that good to completely take over someone's country, but I'm pretty sure that he's rotting in a bathtub in South America being harvested for organs, and that's why he never gets back to me. So his company is ripe for the taking. I have to do what I got to do.
Excellent.
That's one way. Look, as long as you didn't have anything to do with the bathtub, everything is fine.
I plead the fifth. The South Americans, they are of a Hispanic origin. They could easily be my people, but I am not confirming nor denying anything.
Jace. It's great to see that you're taking.
I deny all. I disavow all knowledge of the filleting of shame, which is very similar to the fist of shame that happened to him in South America.
Well, it's better than the fisting of shame, folks. Still in the concept phase because the guy who's supposed to do it is still very shy, which is very surprising given that he's married to a man. But I will point out that Jace is taking a leaf from his co-host John, in that he's claiming another person's territory. How courageous of you! You'll be an Israeli yet, Jace.
Yep.
Where's my $7,000? I did actually extort Annapurna on X and told them that each one of us would require $7,000 if they wanted us not to bury mixtape later in the show.
Yeah. Well, I'm still alive, and I don't have my $7,000, so everything's on the table.
Well, speaking of things on the table, someone's getting the call.
Oh no!
No, I forgot to turn the ringer off.
That phone sounded like it was from the 90s. But now for our first topic, ladies and gentlemen.
I have one of those because I need to. Because my mom has like landline stuff. So.
Good. That's good to know. It's good to know that you're old, Galaxy, just like me. But our first topic.
I already told you I was old. I was about as old as Jace.
I don't know. I naturally assume you look like your avatar, but Kai smashed that illusion months ago. Now for our first topic, which I'll write down for 15 minutes and 50 seconds. Like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. Our first topic is the quartering gets felted by a fatty and a coke addict as Melanie Mack and Chrissy Mayer, because that's how you pronounce her name. People never get her damn name right. Crash and burn. Well, it's good to see Hambley's Angels are doing well as a result of the quartering's controversies, of which there are a multitude, so much so that he has managed to give credibility to a group of people who I wouldn't even touch with a pole in Kino Casino. But whenever you're ready, Helzo, we always like to have sources available for our topics to give people the gist of what we are talking about. But I'll make it clear. I'll make it clear before we start, though. Chrissy Mayer's career destruction is the quickest I've ever seen a creator go from 100 to 0. It's the quickest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
So the main thing that we should discuss in this case is this, and this is from Worski. the quartering basically nuked his ex account. So if I'm not mistaken, this was 1 million or something ex account. I don't remember.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
But this was his main account that he operated everything on, and I think it was yesterday that he just decided to nuke it. And if you know the story about the Review Tech USA, basically I think that's the road that the quartering is going for. The little backstory is that everything was kind of closing in on him. Every lie, everything that he did, every attempt to clear the situation has failed, and it's mostly because of the June the King's video. And I don't know if you have watched that documentary. I managed to watch it, and I gotta say something before I'll let you continue. June the King did an amazing job because he brought to light in a 3.5 hour video 20 years of attempts of a person who, in my opinion, is very, very deeply troubled mentally, trying to fill a hole, a mental hole inside himself with success and booze. And there are a lot of stuff that I personally didn't know about the quartering, and I'm not gonna defend him, but I can kind of understand how his life went the way he led it up until this point, because for some reason he admitted that himself on his what was it, medieval fair stream where he oogled MILFs and was claiming that he would like to have babies with them. He claimed while he was drunk on I think it was in an afternoon, that he couldn't connect with anyone, including his wife. And that's something that a lot of people miss, that he kind of has this, I think, hole inside of him that he fills with financial success in like on any possible case, like any means necessary, and he kind of quenches himself and soothes himself with alcohol, and that's been progressively going bad and bad and bad. Because from what I understood from that video, that these things have been happening at a progressive rate for 20 years. So one thing that nobody, like everybody who's been in that situation, everybody who has been targeted by someone on YouTube or has been exposed, is that you don't retaliate, especially if you have skeletons in your closet. And he had a lot. Like, a lot of people would say, yeah, it was very brutal of Kino Casino to go after him, although they kind of do that and they showcase what you write and they call you out on it and other stuff, and then other people go. And the way he handled it is the typical way that he just wanted to swerve the narrative, as he always has done before, like with his many live streams, charity events and stuff like that. But he couldn't, and he doesn't know any other way to do it, and he's taking that typical way of just digging himself further and further and further.
We've known in the network, we have known for months now that the quartering has been on the ropes of a full-on mental breakdown. This is a man, as I've said before and I'll say it again, he was hiring people to be on his show. He was running this content creation like an actual business, which means a lot of money was going out and not a lot of money is coming in. And when you rely on that, you're gonna be stressed out constantly because there's no off switch as a content creator. This isn't surprising.
Well, you know, the thing about this is that, you know, as someone who's sort of seen this, you know, sort of pan out over, you know, past 5 or 6 years with the quartering, you know, and at one time what he offered was useful. I mean, he was putting out videos about like alt tech when YouTube did a lot of purges, years ago, to turn people onto Odyssey, to turn people onto Rumble. That was before the Rumble contracts, by the way. But the thing is, quartering got a little larger. And by the way, he already had his dramas then, because if people may not remember, he had like some falling out with Tim Pool because he went to the sort of where Timcast is recorded and got himself shit-faced drunk a couple times then. And at that time, you could argue that Tim Pool was a arguably larger content creator than Quartering. Getting shit-faced drunk, probably not the best idea before you're about to be on a show of that size. And he did it multiple times and had been given leeway multiple times and then gotten shit-faced drunk. He may have an alcoholism issue that he has to sort out. And yes, maybe there's a pressure, self-imposed pressure when you're in that spotlight. There's self-imposed pressure when you're whatever you're dealing with in your marriage. Look, I heard years ago when he had this whole drama with Ethan Klein. Klein was insinuating that Quartering was in the middle of a divorce or something along those lines. And I have a theory that essentially, because of everything going on, that this drinking and all this is a way of coping, because the wife, if they were to divorce, let's face it, the way that the American divorce system is, you don't want that to happen, because she's going to take half. And if you built, any kind of media, kind of thing, it doesn't matter how many Rumble contracts, how many YouTube contacts you got, she gets half. Yeah. So you kind of got to stay in a loveless sort of marriage. That's what I think is going on. I think that marriage exists for convenience's sake, and it's not. I'm not trying to slag him. I'm not trying to slag his wife. It happens a lot in America where people stay married not because they love each other, not because there's a passion, not because there's a genuine desire to stay together, but because the alternative is worse. Whether it's children involved, whether it's financial.
And that's taxing to a normal person. And imagine someone who uses financial gain as his only means to stay sane, which is
and who's in the public eye. By the way, he is in the absolute public eye. This is not a guy who's a small content creator. But the thing is that I do think that while in the beginning he had content that was sort of practically useful in some capacity, as we've seen his sort of career evolve as a content creator, it's gotten more clickbaity, where he does like 10 videos on the same subject as opposed to like maybe 2 or 3 videos, which makes more sense. If something develops, it's different when it's the network, as Diggy knows, because, there's like 5 or 6 different shows with many different personalities. You get away with having 5 or 6 videos because it's got 5 or 6 different groups of people, right? And you can't do that if you're one guy.
And they're all out of date at the time they're released. So you can't accuse us of being clickbaity and topical because it's out of date by the time it's released.
It's like
his
3 weeks after it happens.
His demeanor has changed, where I think that he's gotten very sort of, and I hate to say it, in a way, he has started to believe his own hype, and that's also a very bad thing to do, because it starts to rub people the wrong way, especially people that have known you for years. And then, of course, the pinnacle of this, the whole X thing. One thing he admitted before he closed his X, or on another social media that was going around, is I need to take a break from X because I am part of the catalyst for this, in the sense that I'm antagonizing people. Which, by the way, when Yellow Flash first talked about the topic or asked about the topic, and Yellow Flash was not attacking him, and Quartering jumped down his throat. This is a guy you should be able to contact. You know how to contact him. You guys know of each other. You guys are in the same circles, but you attacked him, and then, the Yellow Flash retaliated. And look, I'm all about that. Look, if someone attacks me, I'm going to fucking retaliate. I don't think Yellow Flash did anything wrong. He reacted, it's action, reaction, cause, effect. And that just was sort of a chain reaction that has spread like wildfire.
I've always found that interesting, because myself and my predecessor, whenever we get called out, our first instinct is to just look at it. Just look at it. Look at it for a day, and then forget about it, and then just go on with your day. I've never been an act react kind of person personally, and likewise with my mentor, which is how we in the network usually respond to controversial situations, is to just look at it, not even respond to it, just look at it, think about it, maybe talk about amongst ourselves about it, and then forget about it, because there are more pressing things to talk about. It completely compounds our opposition, because usually when people in our pop culture circles, get a form of criticism, whether it's positive or negative, that is irrelevant to the situation. There are immediate responses to retaliate. Now, in most instances, that inflames the situation. It has in the quarter case, and it's driven him to such an extent where he's broken many, many rules of content creation. And those like Melanie Mack, those like Chrissy Mayer have stuck up for him in that regard. And their careers as content creators are just like, meh.
Absolutely infected. I mean, here's another thing I do have to point out in that regard. Like a lot of times, if I get into a verbal joust with someone, and there's a lot of opposition to our side of the cultural space, I'll say one or two things about it, and then I'll mute them. I don't care what the fuck they have to say after that. Look, they don't like me. I don't care to engage them further. Also, a lot of time it's going to be from people who have like fucking 16 followers. It's like, okay, you got 16 versus I've got 2,000 something. They're just trying to get me to acknowledge them, continue the fight so that they get sort of attention, which people have to understand that also happens. When you attack, and here's, by the way, if you have like a bad situation like Quartering did, you don't attack everyone in your space. All right. You just don't. Yeah. Exactly. If I have a bad day and I start screaming at Helzo, screaming at Dignity, like that's it's not normal. It's not rational behavior. I think Quartering believes he can be an island unto himself. You can't do that. It's better to have friends in this space than to make enemies with every single person.
And screaming is one thing. You can insult. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, and that's just the one thing is that the way that he has been acting, he's acting just like the people who will spend pretty much their entire day on X just constantly responding to people because he has to defend himself no matter what, even if it's something that, maybe I should just leave the conversation. I don't need to get involved, but he is just so amicable.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he's acting like the people that he was originally fighting against, and that's just the whole entire thing when it comes to this whole situation is that you become the woke mob that you were fighting against.
You can just look. I've had personal experience in being a topic of the day, right? People understand the context of that. Newer viewers, newer creators might not. From my perspective, the best thing I could do was do nothing and just suck the air right out, suck the oxygen out of the situation. Now, in the Quartering's case, it's very hard for him to do that because he's still a prominent figure. And when you're getting that much flack for fucking up, he fucked up. You don't false flag. You don't go after people's channels. You don't go after people's livelihoods. You don't even go after people's creative endeavors, like the case with Bearing and Count Dankula when they had a thing going together. This is loopy behavior, which we have seen countless times from the likes of Review Tech USA, Boogie 2988, Nick Rekieta, Killer Keemstar, who else? Who else am I blanking on? DSP.
Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy.
There are so many examples. And when you study content creators and content creation, like I have over the years, both as a cartoon and as a real boy, I can tell you for a fact that escalating the situation almost always makes the situation worse for you.
Worse.
Yep. But the thing is that when you're online, and we're so sure of yourself, when you don't have when you don't have enough real life consequences, you simply don't know when to stop. And let's be honest. The Quartering has been living on a net positive for decades. For almost a decade before this happened. Like Digny, you said a lot of people were a lot of money were coming out, and a lot of money were coming in. But before that, it was the other way around. He did have, or maybe continues to have, money, and we get that. And when you're doing exactly that at any means necessary, you need to defend that brand, that image, that shell that you have created with everything you got. And leaving the conversation is the same as admitting defeat, and he cannot admit defeat.
Here's the problem with some of it also, Helzo, and we all understand this because we, all of us have been doing content creation for a measure of time. You have cycles where you're doing really well, and then you're not doing well, and then it's sort of dipping, goes up, down, up, down. The minute it goes down even a little bit, like, and I've seen this over the years and stuff that he said in videos and the way that he's reacted, when quartering shit goes down even a little bit, like, he gets in his head, like he freaks out. Like yes. I agree with Digny. He shouldn't have to buy people to come on his show. Look, if you're on a downward trend, whatever, you made your money. You're not losing any money. You're not at risk of losing your house or having your lights shut off.
Exactly.
Dude, chill. You're cool. Like you're already like sort of a name. What does it fucking matter? You don't need to be in everyone's fucking mouths. I think one of the problems with this is that in a weird, screwed up way, this drama has kept his name in everybody's mouth, and he. Unfortunately, whether it's good or bad publicity, he's getting off on it, and it's and that's
really dangerous.
However, in this case, it is hurting a lot of his
other people. Exactly, and I don't think he cares what. I don't think he cares what collateral damage he causes in the process.
He doesn't.
It's not just damaging creators. It's damaging the very medium that pop culture content creators exist within, and that is the greatest danger of welcoming internet blood sports mindsets into our arena. I know Kino Casino are very entertaining people, but I know one of those motherfuckers will eat everyone on this panel, and the other one will turn you all into cocaine, because it's that kind of dog eat dog mindset.
We're all gonna be white,
right? Oh, that'll be a plus side then. The quartering deserves it. Melanie Mack and Chrissy Mayer deserve it. But now let's go to all the people who propped up those problematic people for years, right? And then the firing squad gets a lot longer, because I've worked with Melanie Mack. Yes, it was once 3 years ago through a third party, but I've worked with her. Am I up next on the chopping block because Fatty and Cokehead want me gone?
Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon all of a sudden. And the problem with all of that is it's going to lead to infinite purity tests on this side of the culture war. So it'll lead to the thing that the left has on the other side, on the not left. You'll have constant purity tests. You'll have all this drama nonsense. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Galaxy, you back?
Yeah.
No. Yes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, of course I'm back. Otherwise, I have my camera off.
Hey, look.
I had to ask.
Just say you're black.
No,
in black.
because I won't say that.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Go ahead, Galaxy. Do you have any views?
Well, I don't know. It's just like all this stuff going on with him and everything is just gone on crazy for the last couple of weeks. So it's just even crazier in the last couple of days now. So I mean,
this man though has risked the medium that we all exist within, and that's why you're seeing the dominoes fall, especially with Melanie Mack and especially with Chrissy Mayer. Helzo, if you've got that lined up somewhere, it'd be great to show, because in the span of what, a day, 2 days, Chrissy Mayer has gone from one of the main regulars of one of, if not the most prominent pop culture commentary show, Friday Night Tights, to being sent into the depths of hell because she has mishandled this quartering crisis so badly.
So what I have is, sadly, I could not research every single thing. However, I did manage to watch that a part of the live stream, and I do have what Smash has said here, and we do have an excerpt from the clip. So, Digny, if you don't want to,
no, this is a great segue. I can read this, courtesy of a friend of the channel, Smash JT, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good catch up with Smash JT. He's been super busy, and hopefully he's doing very well. Quote, tonight's Chrissy Mayer, at Chrissy Mayer, that's how you pronounce her name. The quartering couldn't even spell her name correctly, and he's far from the only one who can't get Chrissy's name right. You know, one of Legion, it's been a while since we've talked to Legion, but one of Legion's first collaborations was with Chrissy Mayer. So we're only a few degrees of separation from a woman who completely tanked her online career, folks. Stream was a glorious train wreck. She opened by shifting blame, rolling straight into victim mode woman, then complained that the chat bullied her woman. At one point, she casually admitted her child woman was crying for attention while she ignored them woman, but also insisted she's not terminally online. Then Brittany Venti, the whitest black woman on planet Earth, by the way, joined and started asking actual questions, woman, which immediately made things awkward. Well, that's what happens when the entire panel is full of women. There was a whole thing with Nina Infinity based. She's a lovely lady. Lives in Mexico for some reason, though. Trying to be a voice or the voice of reason, but Chrissy ignoring the help. Triple P, the fat one who wants to eat everyone. You know, the one with the triangular cocksucker. That's what I like to call him in the past. From Kino Casino, wanted to join too, but then the ship would have broken because he's so fat. Wanted to join too, so that she would have no way to keep dodging. But Chrissy expressed concern that having him on could risk her channel if he was banned. Well, Ethan Ralph was banned, also friend of the channel, and she collaborated with Ethan Ralph. Now, the moment Chrissy found out Triple P, as I like to call him, wasn't banned, she rushed to abruptly end the stream.
That was the worst thing she could have done, by the way.
Yeah.
That was the worst, because she was
making
being...
an excuse to the end.
Because I also watched, because this was the stream following her stream with Melanie Mack.
Yeah.
Which was an absolute disaster, and I'm sorry that I don't currently have clips. I'll try to look in
That's
a bit.
Right. That's all right.
The disastrous Melanie Mack stream was so bad because she was getting super chat after super chat. She was reading them, and she was ignoring anything that she would have to explain, and she was feigning ignorance, which was later proved that she knew about these things, and she never addressed. And this stream that she did with Nina Infinity and Brittany's name. I always forget Brittany's name. I'm sorry.
Brittany and two most likely lovely ladies that shouldn't be anywhere near this situation.
No, they were actually they were awesome. By the way, they all of them held their ground and called Chrissy Mare out on every occasion that could. It was a train wreck, and she was just you could feel it on the stream. She would go silent when one of them talked, or in the case of Brittany, she would start talking over her, which was one of the most egregious things that you can do in such a situation. But
you want a fun fact, guys, before we get Jace's breaking news, probably? Chrissy Mare's last normal show on her channel was with another friend of the channel, the real life fake wizard, who is now an FNT regular. Go ahead, Jace.
Yep.
I mean, don't forget. I mean, Chrissy Mare's had Toasty on the show several times, so it is in our neighborhood that this is going on, and it is crazy to see Chrissy take this basically nosedive because of the situation with the quartering. It's absolute radiation. Wow.
Roadkill.
$50.
First of
I don't
all,
ignore at $2. I'm not as big as her.
But I'm gonna write a specific timestamp for that, because Roadkill, I am making a short. Get a refund right now. Refund that bitch's ass. Refund. And then give it to me.
Look, that's not.
But
there's something that has been going on, and I do need to mention that. I'm sorry if everybody, like, when you're a YouTuber or when you're a content creator and do live streams, your audience is the most important thing. They're what's keeping you. They're what makes your stream amazing. And when they show up and when they engage, that's when you start to engage as well. I've streamed to 0 people more than a dozen times, and let me tell you, trying to comment on what I'm doing while gaming without any people there, without anyone writing in the chat, is torture. It's pure torture. I went on for 30 minutes without speaking because I just go immerse myself in the game, and it's like I'm not even streaming it. Like, this is the twisted circle, because you're streaming to no one, and if someone comes, he sees that you don't talk, but you don't talk first, so they don't have a reason to talk. And it's a twisted circle that is very hard to go. And when you get a fucking $50 super chat, you gotta fucking ignore it.
Yeah,
you gotta fucking ignore it.
You're supposed to be. You should be reading every chat you get. That's
absolutely
courtesy.
They should all, because this happened to Camelot, although it was done against him wrongfully. But this bitch should be refunded to hell, right? And put her in YouTube debt at that point. But I couldn't do that, Helzo. That's why first time I did this, make videos, establish an audience, then do a show, because I can't do solo streams, and I can't stream to no people. It's torturous.
It is. It is. It's very hard when you don't have people to show up at the beginning. It is hard.
Here's the other thing that I absolutely hate about this whole quartering situation, which, obviously he's trying to, it's going to stay in the cycle for a long time. But who benefits the most from the quartering situation? Everyone who hates us. All right. In the time that this bullshit has happened, Anita Sarkeesian has reemerged like a cockroach coming out from behind the refrigerator. All right. We had a game come out completely astroturfed by the people who hate us. And you know what's getting coverage? This guy and his fucking alcohol addiction.
Well, yeah.
Who's benefiting from this? All of the people who want to put us back in the fucking box and are well on their way to doing so, all because of this.
That's what happens. Because we have successful people.
Gay Digney made a stunning and brave review of Mixtape. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I'm going to check out that review tomorrow. It was either Gay Digney or Responsible Ryan. I prefer Gay Digney, just like fine folks over on the old white road. But Jace is absolutely correct in his assessment. And the great danger of this situation is that the quartering won't stop. Clearly, Chrissy can never be on FNT again. It's not salvageable.
No.
Have the real life fake wizard be there, and we can be like, yay, someone's on SNH and FNT in a year. Fucking incredible. Well done to him.
The thing about
here's the
Chrissy,
thing. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Well, I was going to say, there, when it affects geeks and gamers, when it affects Yellow Flash, when it affects Smash JT, to the point where you just can't ignore that this quartering thing is going on. That is the goal almost, because if you've got geeks and gamers' eyes off the prize, if you've got Smash's eyes off the prize, if you've got Yellow Flash's eyes off the prize, if you've got Chrissy Mayer, who's typically a good comedian, now completely sinking like a stone. You know who benefits the most from that? The fat, ugly, slovenly, hideous swamp creatures that have subverted our culture for a decade. Because we were on the verge of getting everything back. We're like, and we don't have it back yet. We're like an inch away from getting it back. And
Jace, I can actually calm you down a little bit with this, because when you have full-time content creators on our side, like let's say Smash, like Hypno, they're able to cover all everything. They're able to cover quartering and Anita Sarkeesian. What is left people like us, like let's be with a job, you with a job, and a break. We can get to clean house, because if we want to be strong against the other side, against the people who would want to destroy us from the outside, we need a cleansing on this. We need to be full and unified on this. Remember what happened with the Bruno Gate?
To counter that, the algorithm, because you know what? Look, there are people who are logging into X, and they're not getting any of those stories that matter. They're only getting stuff about like their whole fucking feed is quartering with bags under his fucking eyes. Like,
I know
that's just going to tune people the fuck out. Like he's like, it's almost like you're looking for like the sun, and then here's a fucking eclipse, which is the quartering hovering over us, blocking out the sun. And now here are all the vampires coming out of the fucking sewer. All of the sweet baby, all the sweet baby soy sloppers are coming out of the sewer like roaches. And you've got the Ellisons playing the fucking flute like a fucking Pied Piper, bringing these people out.
You're completely
to cannibalize us.
But you're completely correct. However, we still need to deal with what's happening inside, and we have someone who has still semi-allegedly flagged channels on our side, for daring
Yes, that
to
is true.
come at one time. He has been crashing out. He has been taking people with him because Chrissy Mary, if you remember, she was in good standing on a lot of channels, especially when talking about and talking against and even impersonating some prominent figures on the other side. So she wasn't in a bad standing. It was this thing that done her in. That means that one way or the other, the quoting thing was going to get to her. But the thing is that we have a battle on two fronts, and we need to figure, and we need to do the close one first.
Exactly.
Because if we focus on the outside, we're gonna get wiped out from the inside from someone like him or someone else. And it's gonna be the most devastating thing because we're gonna crumble. And I think to be talking about all of this like it's a war, but it's inevitable to talk about like this because the other side doesn't care who gets hurt. They just want to hurt every one of us.
Exactly.
You're putting the war in the culture war, folks. But let's give an example of a creator who has had a downfall, who's been in a downfall spiral for years and still hasn't faded away, who's still prominent enough and still influential enough to crash and burn an entire medium. Boogie 2988. This is a man who, for years, was the so-called self-proclaimed Mr. Rogers of YouTube, a stunning reputation, amassed millions of supporters. Even it's getting close to a decade now. Even close to a decade after his peak and downfall, he's still a well-known figure. He's still prominent. His reputation is shot. Don't get me wrong, folks. He is collapsing on every front, including his personal health. But his actions are still damaging the medium he exists within. Same will happen with the quartering. It will get to a point where people's best response to dealing with this, and yes, this is going to sound ironic coming from us in today's show, when this topic becomes yesterday's news and everyone moves on. We have to let that process run its course because you can't, unfortunately, when something is a topic of the day, you can't just ignore it away. Some creators can. But if you antagonize the situation, a week-long controversy could turn into a month. And if you continue to aggravate the situation by doing egregious shit like false flagging and other people defending your lies and other egregious actions, that month-long controversy will turn into a year-long controversy, and you will crash and burn. The ball's still in your court. Is the situation still salvageable? Not in terms of your connections, it's not. Is the situation still salvageable for you personally? Yes, but you've got to shut the fuck up right now.
If you think, like, in my opinion, in the quartering situation, it's already too late. It is. It's like because we're talking about Jay's mention about screaming and being angry about, let's say, us if he was having a bad day. That's one thing. That is one thing to just go and have a meltdown with people and be angry at them. When you attack people's livelihoods, that's when everything changes. And nothing was going to be this serious. We wouldn't be talking about this today, and he wouldn't have deleted his accounts yesterday if he just kept it above the belt. Because attacking people's livelihoods, that's below the belt.
Well, like, the big thing...
You can attack him on public stuff. You can attack people on what they post, because when you're on the internet and when you post and when you overshare about pissing on your dog, people are gonna fucking talk about it. That's just the truth. When you share something, you gotta be ready to take the hit.
The thing about what he's doing ultimately is because he's crossed the red line, that is the point of no return. What content creator looks at quartering now and says, I can trust this guy? You know, and by the way, it goes beyond just Melanie and Chrissy and all this. I mean, the entirety of Rumble has been dragged into this to the point where the CEO had to do damage control after being asked questions about it. I mean, you are now dragging an entire company down with you that is intended to sort of be the light, you know, in the storm when YouTube fucks around and takes a bunch of people down. And now people are questioning, oh, well, am I safe there? Because this guy who has, been referred to as a flagger, with there's a certain word Yellow Flash likes to use for him that's a slur and the word flag, but I don't want YouTube to hit us.
It is funny though. I mean, in terms of salvaging the situation, guys, I'll tell you an example of someone salvaging the situation after a controversial situation. Andy Warski of Kino Casino. This is a man who 4 years ago made it very clear, openly, in public, in Las Vegas, with his loaded handgun, come near me and I'll shoot you. The man nearly murdered a motherfucker on the open street. Now he's fucking lauded around Jabba the Triple P. If you tell me that's not a salvageable situation, then why is everyone coming to the defense of Kino Casino nearly 4 years later? Because they've made a name. Well, nearly killing someone on the streets of Las Vegas.
It depends on what you do. Pose that, and this is something. Let's. I'm gonna actually reverse my words a little bit. There's one thing that the quartering can now do. There's one thing. There's one road. It's like the end game in Avengers. There's one scenario where he might win in the end, and that's if he goes on public record saying, "I need help," goes into like a rehab, goes into AI, starts being very open, like goes and apologizes, just do all the right steps.
Swallow your pride. Swallow that pride.
Gravels a little bit. Swallow his pride. Gets help. If needed, gets the fucking divorce instead of being a cuck, allegedly. And just turn his life around. Not wife. He doesn't turn his wife around. He's doing it.
Oh boy.
Turn his life around, goes to a fucking shrink, a proper one, and scales down all of the things that he's doing. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. When way before I started YouTubing again, one of the first people, even before Smash, but this was before I decided to do YouTube again. One of the people that I watched was the quartering. He was a source of information. He was the source of the daily news of what's happening. He was the voice of reason. That was back in 2015, 2016, I think.
Yeah. Hell, so let me ask you this. Watching him then, could you even fathom that this would happen now? Like, no. That's to us, like, he's just
what I thought then? This was the first of he sits in front of a camera, reports on the news, gets his topic, done. Then I watched other people. Then I started watching Smash, Hypno, Yellow Flash. They do the same, like not the same, but they do that stuff as well. They report it, they give their opinion, they comment, they react, they stuff. I want to do that because I want to get my point across. I want to get my thoughts out. And
absolutely.
And then quartering changed. It changed. I can actually
became very clickbaity. That was the first sort of downfall. He
became first of all clickbaity. I remember several instances where his title didn't match what he was saying. Like he was, this thing is absolutely insane. You gotta see this. And then he talked about for 5 or 6 minutes about
his coffee.
Very mild. Yeah, something very mild. And that was the first thing that I was like, okay, I don't like this. So he needs, if he wants to win in the end, and I mean by win, I mean that he wants to be at least somewhat respectable, again. He needs to scale down, reset to like 2015, 2016 when he was much simpler then, and get help. Because for all the things done, and that's why I opened my statement with what June the Kings made as documentary. He's a deeply troubled man. And I'm not defending for the egregious fucking shit that he did to other channels and what he did on social media. He needs to be dragged for it. But I can understand the mental process and the spiritual process that he's been going through. I understand what's inside him. I'm not defending.
He needs to help get the channels back of those he has false flagged for starters, folks.
For starters.
Absolutely.
And if he can do that as a foundation, then there is a path to redemption. And if he can do that, and that's a big if, because that's territory I don't know much about, then it would be easier for the quartering to salvage the situation than Melanie Mack and Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy Mayer especially. She's gone from everywhere to nowhere in 2 days.
Well, here's the big issue when it comes to the whole thing with the quartering. Like, Hellzo, you are 100% correct. That would be the thing that he would have to do. The issue is with that is the same problem that a bunch of content creators have, and it's the enabling of his simps. You'll still have like the people who will constantly tell him that no, you didn't do anything wrong. You did everything that you're doing is the right course of action and everything. You're going to have the people that will still enable these actions. And just like with Chrissy Mayer, where she was only paying attention to specific chats that were supporting everything that she was going on about, it's the same thing with the quartering. Unless he actually starts paying attention to literally everything that everybody is saying, he will only pay attention to the people that are actively supporting him and what it is that he's doing. And then he's not going to come to the realization of like, oh no, I massively fucked up. I need to improve myself, no matter what.
Kai is over the target on that because we see that a lot now, and it's not about a left or right thing or even a political thing. I mean, look what we're seeing with the president of the United States, where he's getting the pat on the back from certain people that his base doesn't like. It's like, well, I don't care if you don't support everything I say 100%, you're out of MAGA. Okay, but now you care what Lindsey Graham thinks.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the same thing. In content creation, it could get very dangerous because you will always have orbiters that think that you can do no wrong, that are unwilling to call you out when you do wrong.
Also, you have people that if they don't agree with you, you call them out and you say you don't support me anymore. You have betrayed me.
Well, yeah, because that's the whole thing is. Yeah, because that's the whole entire thing is that he was in like massive good standings with people like Nerdrotic, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, all that, because he used to appear on FNT for crying out loud years ago. But pretty much it's just like what you said is that, you know what, Jeremy from the quartering, you seem to be going a little bit overboard with all this. Maybe you need to step back and think about what it is that you're doing with the quartering, jugging down his Fireball whiskey, and it's just like, you don't care about me, you're going against me.
He has a living, breathing example of what happens when you do that. Nick Rekieta,
exactly,
for example, right? A clear example of a creator who you have collaborated with. He's collaborated with people who were formerly close to you. This is what happens when you go down that path. And Rekieta seems to salvage the situation. Somehow he has managed to salvage that situation. But I think the false flagging was crossing a red line. You don't do that. You've got to sort that out. Another thing that needs to be pointed out is, as a creator, you can do exactly the same type of thing, say in 2016, the medium format of pop culture content creation and commentary, which the quartering was one of the earliest creators in our space to do that, even before Nerdrotic did. And that can work. But will it work after 10 years? Will it work after 20 years? It's not likely to. And this is how I know that what I do will have a shelf life, because one of these days, maybe not now, maybe tomorrow or in 5 years or 10 years, and it's been nearly 5 years now, folks. I'm amazed people can still put up with me. But what was innovative 5 years ago is stale now. And what's innovative now will be stale in 5 years. I have not changed. And apart from, being a cartoon for necessity reasons, but I know what I'll do will go out of fashion. In fact, it has since I have become a cartoon. But I'm still going to remain myself, and that's the bad part of being principled, folks. If you don't move with the times, you're going to be left behind. Would James Dean be a prominent celebrity in 2026? No, he wouldn't.
Hey, there's 3 words that come with principle, guys.
I am poor.
That too.
That too. But in all seriousness, because a lot of people, and I'm not saying that it's bad to make money, but some people, because of the money, they're willing to sell out their integrity. And we've seen that a lot, in games media. We've seen it a lot in content creation. We've seen that a lot in the political sphere. You know, a 7K check can buy a lot of influence, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, what I use myself as an example because it's the best example I know. What I did in 2023 and most of 2024 was perfectly acceptable. In fact, it was encouraged to be a more radical creator back then. Now, or ever since 2025 came along, my goodness, no, you got to be moderate. You got to be refined. You got to be dignified. You've got to be respectable and responsible, which goes to show that you can be yourself throughout the course of your journey and not cross any of those red lines and be loved during one era and despised during another. Great to see you, Lavistra. I hope you're doing well. In regards to the quartering, right, the clickbaity stuff was a little red flag. Let's face it, he's not the only creator who does that. The real egregious problem was the don't drink on stream. Don't drink on stream. Yeah. Just don't. I've seen too many examples of that.
Or if you do, make sure you can handle it.
Well,
because I feel attacked currently.
I mean, to be fair, John handled it rather nicely last Tuesday.
And then he threw up shortly after the show.
But at least you didn't do it on the camera.
Look, I'm going to tell you one thing. Move to Bulgaria for a couple of years, and then you will not consider beer and alcohol, because we don't. So you won't be technically drinking.
I know Nina Infinity referenced this. I think it was in an X post about the unwritten rules or the unspoken rules. I think she made it clear as. I've talked about the unwritten rules of content creation in the past, and a certain group of creators, not going to say who for privacy reasons, but as soon as you bring that up, fucking hell do they bolt. They run. There is a certain element within our own sphere that doesn't want to tell people the unwritten rules of content creation, like you don't false flag people, you don't put things too far, you don't lie to fellow creators, you don't lie to your audience. But I think it's about time we start having some actual written rules of content creation, because not everyone, especially the autistic people among us, not everyone know the unwritten rules, especially in the digital world. So I think it's about time we start writing shit down and making it clear to all creators, this is what we can do, this is what you might want to do, but these are the red lines that you should never do.
The problem with that is that those rules, the problem with that is that those rules used to coincide with YouTube's rules, for instance.
Yeah,
they don't.
No, they don't.
And also having like written rules is amazing. But I can tell you right now that you're gonna have people that are gonna want to abuse those. When you give them something written, they're just gonna want to abuse it more because it's gonna be more tangible to them. Unwritten rules of content creation are there to disseminate good people from shitty people.
Well, how
if you break them.
How the hell is people supposed to know the difference?
Well, let me just say, I don't need a written rule to know that I shouldn't flag down channels. You know why? Because I have a fucking brain.
That, though. The quartering didn't fucking know that.
Oh no, he knew that. He just crossed the line deliberately.
Okay, let me ask something. Do you think that if you had written rules about this, the quartering in his old drunkenness and mental instability would have followed them, or he would even be more, or he would have been more creative given his 20 years of experience in the medium to subvert them and to go around them more creatively, hence making it even harder to for someone to call them out. Because when you do written rules, and that's something that I've painfully learned from HR in the corporate world, you have written rules, but you have people who become experts at breaking them without seeming that they're breaking them.
You also have people who,
because you know they're breaking them, but on paper they're not, and that's the worst thing because you don't have any defense.
You also have people who skirt the rules because they get to a certain size, which again, we're not talking about like just a creator that's on our sort of size. Quartering believes himself to be above everybody, and I think that ego, by the way, and everybody knows this who has ever taken a drink in their life, whatever you're thinking when you're sober, is amplified as you drink. So if you got a little bit of an ego problem and you drink, you're gonna have a massive ego problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think that he thought, I could do whatever I want. Look, we saw the leaked text where he said, I'll have it where the only place you could stream is D Live, which is now dead, by the way. So in his mind, he's saying that he has control over YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, all because he has contacts there. Kick, all of them.
Kick you in the balls, literally in this case.
I think that what's happening with the quartering is that the community is taking care of it. Like, yeah, he did bad thing, but when you have a community that doesn't want to engage in that, then you have, as Digny pointed out in several shows and in the past, that new creators will rise up, and they will rise up through not following in the footsteps of false big creators, because quartering, for whatever you might think, like having such a big audience takes time, takes effort, takes a lot of influence, and takes relevancy.
Look, the Chroma has left his body, and there's a journal telling you what not to do next to his corpse.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good point. A good point. And another point I want to bring up is that when it comes to the quartering situation, folks, as I've said earlier on in today's show, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time. There are countless examples of this happening, which I think limits our medium to its full potential. And look, in some instances it's salvageable, like Nick Recator, somehow, right? Fucking having a fucking three-way with cocaine while your kid's watching is fucking salvageable in this day and age. Somehow.
Yes, if you're good enough, it is.
Some creators, folks, deserve redemptions and don't get them. If only I could put my hand up while saying that. And other creators don't deserve redemption and get redeemed. That's another aspect of content creation that, quite personally, I despise. It's that talented people in this space cannot succeed. I wouldn't count myself as talented. I would count myself as the talentless that for a time did succeed, while talentless people can succeed. There doesn't seem to be a measurable metric for true success as a content creator. Look at Cancel This Podcast at Jason John. Fantastic show. Very well done. Very committed. Very talented. But generally not successful, especially not financially successful. Apart from one platform that fucking hates them in Facebook. Right? When you've got someone like the Quartering who has fucking tentacles everywhere, but in recent years has become a talentless hack. Coffee brand coffee. Buy my blood, buy my oranges.
Well,
buy my book.
The content creation is defined by the people watching you. And if you're interesting enough for the people watching you, if you don't have talent and enough people say that you do, and they like to watch you for one reason or another, that's it. Unless you're buying stuff. Unless you're buying your way into viewership. Because that also can happen, as you know. By the way, in my opinion, if Jace decides to just slightly become more or less of a Rumble type and become on YouTube, he's gonna become very successful on YouTube. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. Unless they nuke him, because that's not
figuratively or literally. Because I have said things that would cause certain countries to physically nuke my house.
Exactly. And on that note, thank you very much for being on the last show. This is the last time. Hopefully, you're enjoying this.
It does seem very interesting, though, that it has been close to a year since I became a cartoon. The landscape has shifted a lot, but it's still the same. Look, the more things change, the more they stay the same. That's why I personally believe that ultimately we're all going to face the chopping block. We're all going to cross that nebulous red line one of these days, whether it's in 2027 or 2028, or in Galaxy's case, 2050. Right? It's that
Look, he's alive.
It's that Dark Knight reference. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. In the Quartering's case, and Melanie Mac's case, and Chrissy Mayer's case over a 48-hour period. But
in Two Faces' defense, having sex with Katie Holmes past her prime would make anyone into a villain.
Well, yeah, that and getting acid attacked with 50% of your face. But quite frankly, if that is the ultimate end result, and we see constant examples of that being manifested, doesn't that just go to show that our medium, content creation, whether it's in pop culture or in politics or in any other medium, it is not a bug. It is a feature of our medium, and that puts us as an industry on the dustbin of history before we can really spring up and be the change that we want to see. Now some boomer is calling me. Jace would understand the reference because he also lives with one.
I thought Digny was going to say dustborn of history.
Yeah. Galaxy and Kai, anything, please do so. We know we're loud and we're offensive, but yes.
Okay, so I don't even know what to say here. But anyway, yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, y'all were talking about like Nina and stuff. Also, Jeremy, aka not Jeremy the Quartering, Jeremy from D-Day Cobra,
yeah,
Giza Gamers. He also mentioned about the unwritten rules and stuff too. About like where also he's supposed to be like focusing on the chat, trying to be like listening to your chat when you're doing these streams and everything. Otherwise, you're not going to have a chat basically. So it's just that's another thing that Chrissy did in this instance last night, and also tonight. Also when she had Melanie on, she was like she ignored them. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So she ignored them.
It's just
ignoring money from Roadkill is like just egregious to me. You know, I mean, look, I try to talk to everyone whether you got money or not. But if you drop money, I'm definitely going to say something.
Do you know how many tacos he had to sell for those $50?
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Devil.
He sent $50 and then she like ignored it. I mean, what the hell? It's just dumb.
I don't ignore even $5. Like I know I'm not as big as those channels, but you get someone who's
if I was getting like $1, I would ignore that either. So it's just like
I don't ignore you when it's free because we're a bit smaller content creators than Chrissy, so the chat is not moving a mile a minute. But I do think that one of the things that we offer is that we do acknowledge people in our rooms and support because I think that's important. You don't end up big overnight, and even the chat, the channel got large. You still have to acknowledge people. You still have to acknowledge what's going on.
Yeah.
He's looking for Alabama John. Oh God!
Get a refund.
For those who don't know,
sorry, Jace, but Roadkill, seriously, get a refund from Chrissy Mayer. And ideally, give it to me. But in all honesty, give it to Jace. He really needs funds.
For those who don't know that the reference Roadkill made, there's this guy who just bots incessantly on Rumble to the point of annoyance. To the point where like just a lot of people just are mad. Not like just Galaxy, but like Zine the Rules. Like I hate that son of a bitch. Like I hate his fucking bots. It's just agitating.
I should reach out to Alabama John. We get him on a massive panel, and then it's
just
like,
shit on him.
It's great to meet you, Alabama John. Right? What's it like fucking your cousin?
Digny, how shitty do you have to be to get kicked off of Kick?
Oh my God!
That you gotta be from Alabama, and you also have to be a devout Muslim, so your cousin is a goat.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, seriously, get a refund, Roadkill.
Before we continue, because I do really want us to get it. Kai.
Sure.
The only other thing that I can really just what?
You were like you sound like you were holding your breath for a second. Sorry.
But pretty much the only other thing that I can really just bring into this whole entire thing is just that it seems like people like Quartering, Jeremy, and Chrissy and Melanie Mack and all that stuff is like, yes, whenever they first did get into this kind of sphere and everything, talking about the whole everything going on in the pop culture space and whatnot. Yes, they came in it with good intentions. The problem is though is that they seem to have lost the true vision of what it meant a long time ago, because it seems like they've only kept around in it. They only stuck around in this space just due to the fact of with just money. They have completely lost the plot whenever it came to like what everything that actually people who do talk about this stuff daily actually still care about it. And that's just the thing that annoys me, is the fact that you call yourself a pop cultural critic and whatnot, but all it is for you is just money, and you've don't even bother to go with that. Like some people, I don't even understand how in the world they even got into it in the first place. Like, especially with Chrissy. Like, yeah, she's a comedian that do what?
On her knees.
Oh, well, yeah. But aside from that, like I know that she appeared on FNT like quite a while ago. She's been on that show for quite some time. The problem is, I know, right? It's insane. But the issue with that is the fact that it seems is that she doesn't even bother to give like any truthful insight about anything that they are talking about, and it seems like she just doesn't care. She'll just make like snide jokes and everything, and then I feel like here lately she would just get pity laughs out of it.
But, hey, I love pity laughs.
You know, I have to bring this up because I think this is important, because Kai just is so over the target with this, because one of the biggest problems with these people is they've lost their way. They don't know what they don't remember what it was like to not be able to pay the bills, to be hungry, and to be sort of at the lower end of this. Because I'll tell you right now, you're making, Chrissy Mare's making money, Quartering's making money, Melanie's making money. You know who's not making money? Some of us down here at the bottom, right? I don't have the luxury of being so fucking paper thin sensitive, by the way, because I'll tell you this. We're talking about this, but none of us are disparaging y'all. But you might hear a clip like this and go, oh, they're making fun of me. Are you that fucking bitch made? Are you that fucking sensitive? Look, you went last 5 minutes with Digny on Old White Road, all right? Where how many times has Galaxy Red had to be called a person of the community, not the VTuber community, but the
gay community.
Just in passing for being on Old White Road with Digny. He's still here. He's not mad. He's not like furious about it. All right. I'm allowed my fucker.
I'm not furious about it, but this is I don't like it.
If we were in the 90s, if we were in the 90s where you can just make offensive, like truly offensive jokes, like you can say exactly which member of their family they had sex with on a multiple occasion without explicitly saying this was a joke, because they weren't fucking stupid enough to so it was a joke, was just an insult. Then this royalty, and Jace, you have a very very good point that they're very paper thin, because they're up there and they have forgotten what is down here.
The good thing is that talk about my mother. He's insulted your cat. We should all be mad. He's called Kyle.
I'm gonna dox each and every one of you now.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that? Like, you should be able to roll with the punches, especially in the circles that you have made your bones and made your following in. You know?
I have been thrown around my entire life, and there is nothing anyone can say to me, and I'm not bragging here, but there's nothing anyone can say to me that's gonna insult me in any way. Anyways, the thing is, with one good thing, and I'm sorry to put it that way, that with the Quartering's downfall, there is kind of an open room for the people who watch him to find new channels. That's the sad but also a positive fact. I'm not gonna pretend that this is not gonna be an opportunity for smaller channels to get a piece of some pie, because when you have so many subscribers,
he was eating all the pie.
And when you're posting 5 times a day, a lot of people are going to watch only you, because they get enough content for the day. They don't need any other content. Now, with that gone, we might get some people just waking up and saying, "Oh, wait a minute! There's other channels that post good content, that post good commentary, that are actually good. Well, let's go to them.
Oh wait, who's this guy?
Yeah. Chrissy's downfall especially calls into question the judgment of the FNT crew, right? Okay, as someone who's been on a well-known show with lots of people on it, panels of 9 and 10 in some cases. Folks, a panel of 10 is far too many people. When I see FNT with 10 people, I instantly turn off. It's got to be 9 max. Okay, so even on that argument, Chrissy, you've got your own structure. You don't need that. At the very least, give the floor to someone who is, quote unquote, a rising star, like the real life fake wizard, and, inject some fresh blood into the arena. Right? You've been there for 5 years. That's a great achievement, right? FNT regular, 2021 to 2026. You could have eased yourself out of this situation. 2 days ago, you'd have your own power base, your own support system, and you wouldn't have gone from hero to zero, quite frankly. And as a result of what the quartering has done and the fact that she defended those bad actions, it calls into question the judgment of one of the most popular and prominent pop culture content creator communities out there. It's not even close in terms of popularity. And that will cause a lot of reputational damage. You got it wrong with Chrissy Mayer. She'd been on your show for 5 years. The little red flags were there. Now we're going to call you into question and everyone around you. And that's when the fucking disease, the blood sports really spread.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Well, you could, but I think that they might get away with it because this is really her first ever so public blunder that I've seen, at least. Yeah. I'm not a measure. And by the way, I think before we continue, we should finish this off and watch the clip, because this is like we haven't even got to the juicy part, but we got so onto what she did.
Let this be the whole show. Let it.
I agree with Arcateer. By the way, I mean, never count anyone out in this space.
No, it's not gonna be now. What I said is he's not going away anytime soon, but there's gonna be cracks that are going to wake some people up. He'll
never be the same.
It's not like he's gonna be gone. Like, first of all, he has 1 million fucking channels. This fucker.
Yeah.
He has like 10 or 12 active channels. My fucking God, I am. That's what I'm saying. I understand how he got so psychotic. Like, I can barely maintain one channel. And I have a full-time job. But if I didn't have a full-time job, I'll still maintain one, maximum 2 channels, and I'll probably do some other stuff. But like maintaining several businesses and channels, I understand, and I'm not defending it. I understand how this fucker is so mentally deranged. And this, again, what has been going on for 20 years, he's filling a lot of holes in himself, as other people are filling holes in.
It's got to be fucking exhausting. To be fair to him, I'll give him that. It's got to be exhausting.
It's absolutely like, first of all, quenching your anxieties and trying to get yourself to sleep through alcohol is one thing. This is something that sadly much more people that we care to admit do it. However, combining that with the obsessive workaholism to go and work on so many stuff at the same time and try so many stuff for so many years, and every single time you're with the mindset that this has to win, this has to be good. And whenever it starts to fall, you obsessively pour more and more money into it, and the cracks deepen. And when it fails, it's even harder blow. And that swings you right back to even more drinking and even more videos. So you can continue to pump more money and either revive and continue with the other businesses. It's a vicious circle that eats away at your brain. And he already had those issues 20 years ago. Again, if anyone hasn't watched the June the King documentary, go watch it, because it basically paints a very, very broken picture of a very, very broken man.
Cucking is bad.
Thank you.
Quite literally. I think the cucking broke him, man. I think the choice of divorce or cucking broke the quartering. I really
Pick
do.
divorce. Pick divorce.
Yep. So he had a choice.
It's not an option for him, sadly. We talked like
It would have
financial
broken him.
splitting,
Either way, it's broken him. Either way.
Yeah.
And look, it's now broken. I mean, Melanie Mac is just a straight up hypocrite at this point. Chrissy Mayer is the biggest downfall I've seen this year, no question. Go ahead, Jake.
Look, Helzo, I have to disagree. You know, I know that it's difficult for this guy. I know that it's probably difficult for him in the situation he's in. But to say that you're out of options is just no. There is an option. There he does have one option. There is what I would call the nuclear option, but it's an option nonetheless, as you see.
Yep. Oh my God.
Don't jinx it, by the way. Don't jinx it, because at this point, with what's been going on with him, this might just happen. Like, I'm not saying that I want it to happen. I'm not saying that I promote it to happen. But if you remember some other prominent content creators, even from before YouTube, for things that they have done, I don't know if you remember a content creator, Juwario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we have seen and we have heard and we have experienced and we have watched what can happen when everything around you crumbles. So I'm not saying that this needs to happen, and I actually hope it doesn't happen. But I'm saying that we have precedents, we have history. That's pattern recognition. Sadly, psychology does not fail on these things.
The quartering should just pull a Kevin Spacey, come out of the closet, invite the Jew bull onto his panel, start an OnlyFans with his wife and with the bull, and just go full in on it. The cuckering, ladies and gentlemen. The cuckering.
Oh boy.
He defects, he joins the opposition, and his first guest is David Jaffe. Okay? And he can talk about his transing his kid for money, and good old Jer can talk about how he became the cuckering,
and they're gonna eat someone's eyes.
He defects. He becomes one of the opposition. He collaborates with Jew Bull and Mighty Keith for a threesome on OnlyFans.
Oh Lord!
Right?
Can't wait to watch him play mixtape.
Right, and then for some reason, John De La Rosa is there.
Oh yeah, because there's going to be furries involved.
I said, right, in late 2024, that the perfect panel for the anti-Goonagate people would be the Quartering, Razor Fist, Melanie Mac, John De La Rosa, and John F. Trent. Add Chrissy Mayer to the mix, right? Melanie Mac, add her too, if I didn't say her name already. Deja Vu. And you would have a massive panel full of well-known, dare I say infamous creators. And they can call themselves the Quartering Club. Hung, drawn, and truly quartered.
That's a
good God.
Okay, that's an interesting choice of words, I guess.
But it would be a big panel, right? Lots of people, lots of prominent people there. I think a lot of people would watch. Maybe not now, but back then they would have.
Who knows? They might do that as well. But
We've
before
been
we could,
cancelled. We've been cancelled because we're Christians. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work anymore. That worked for a time, doesn't work anymore. But Digny, would you do the honors?
Oh yes, in terms of reading this, let me just be diverse, Digny, for a moment. Quote. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the same thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh, right. I thought I already talked about this. Oh, right.
I don't think
I didn't finish it.
No, yeah, we didn't read the whole thing because we divulged into the topics, but we also need to watch the clip as well.
Oh, the black Pigu boy is really getting to me. Let me just get into something more comfortable. There we go, folks. Chrissy's, to quote Smash GT again, Chrissy's entire approach was brutally bad, woman, and felt like watching a plane crash, or a plane being... How do you drive a plane? Fly a plane.
You fly a plane.
Fly.
You fly a
Yes.
plane.
Yeah.
Or
I
you crash a
tried
plane.
that like a woman. It felt like watching a plane crash, or also known as a woman flying a plane. Should have been. That's the joke I was trying to lead towards. Should have been a 5-minute video encompassing her obvious lies she was busted in. Do you know who also gets busted in? The quartering's wife. By
I was gonna say women,
Jubal.
but
Oh
Woman.
no.
Admitting it and moving on and trying to be better. Do you know who can't be better, folks? Come on. You know the line.
Oh no.
women, I guess,
Women.
right?
Exactly. Well done, Galaxy. Gold star.
Well,
for
I
you.
mean, yeah, I thought you were saying women for the other one too before this, and I was like,
I thought
yeah,
you were
that
going
actually
to
counts
say
too
the
for that, but-
quartering.
Instead, a sub-only modes. Do you know who has sub-only modes, folks? The quartering, because he's a cuck. Only
Oh,
mode
boy.
set in attempt to grow her channel and selectively picking only super chats that support her stance to read out while ignoring hard super chats once again. You know, she should love hard super chats. Do you know why? Because she's a woman. To continue Smash JT's
So what you're
quote,
saying is that Roadkill's super chat wasn't hard enough.
yeah, it wasn't hard enough, man. Give me a soft
Sorry,
$50
Roadkill.
super chat, Roadkill.
Yeah.
But to finish Smash's
hard enough for
point
us.
here, quote, I can't imagine Friday Night Tights is going to want to deal with this in the near future. Curious to see what happens with that. End of quote. Smash has gone on record on his clip channel, Smash JT2, that if he was in FNT's shoes, Chrissy Mayer would never be on Friday Night Tights again. And, you know, Gary, to his credit,
I think that's going to happen.
consummate professional that he is, Gary, he cuts out controversy like a middle-aged doctor cuts out a cancer from a brain.
The thing is that this stream was, first of all, I think it was supposed to be a clip, like a video. And this was supposed to be her redemption, like her explanation, her admission.
Yep.
And basically just quenching all the controversy. And I think we should watch this clip because, yeah, she ignored my Rumble rant too, asking Cherry to blink twice if she needed to.
No.
She looks scared.
shit.
yeah.
I've
Basically-
never seen
basically-
Cherry before.
Refund!
But she looks scared.
Huh?
Yeah, I
Great
when
superheroes,
thank God.
I mean, I watched it. I
Those
watched it
damage.
through Smash's stream.
Oh.
But Cherry
Yeah.
basically like said nothing the entire time. Just sat there.
Yeah, she was
So
like.
it's just
So let's just play the video and see what this clip was about.
like research. I just went through it, and
But
her
you
getting
said you
married-
said there was conflicting things, right? That Melanie was saying like, oh, it's a nothing burger, essentially, right? But Nina 2 weeks had told you otherwise. So if you're saying that you had her on anyway,
So Nina Infinity has already informed her 2 weeks ago that actual stuff was happening and Corin was doing stuff, and it wasn't a nothing burger. And if you remember, Chrissy was saying that she doesn't know about the stuff from the super chats when she was with Melanie Mac. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Like when you're on the internet doesn't forget, especially in this day and age.
because
What's
there was a
worse than that?
confliction, then that doesn't make sense to say that therefore you didn't know. But even if we did assume that, right, and it's like,
Hit
you
her
know,
with the
you just
sweeping.
didn't remember
Hit her
from
with
2
the
weeks ago,
sweeping.
even though it's serious, like I think that
Oh,
would be
boy.
something to remember when he's saying he's gonna go after me and he's already deplatformed people. I think that's on your responsibility,
And concerning.
especially because we've known each other a long time and we worked together a long time to take something like that seriously. And when Nina's telling you as your friend, so
But
she even
Melanie,
told you the
I
day
thought-
of. She told you
And
before
one friend
she
is
had
saying,
her
"Look
on.
into it," and one friend is saying it's a nothing burger. It's like that cancels each other out. And
No,
then when in my
no,
tweets, I was
no,
like,
that-
no,
that's
no,
the
Chrissy,
part.
no.
Yep.
that's the part.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, no, you get that's not how that works.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. You need to at this case. You need to investigate a lot into that. You don't just assume something cancel each other. What like that's if I say to Jace, you're gonna get a truckload of bricks on your head tonight, and Galaxy says you won't, and it cancel each other out, and you're not gonna worry.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
it's you're gonna at least think about figuring out what's going on.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No, if one friend is on the side of deplatforming and the other friend is like, hey, the guy that person's on the side of is trying to deplatform your other friends, they don't fucking cancel each other out.
No, they don't.
They don't, because especially when that friend just says, I need to find this, by the way, about the cancel mob. I don't know if you saw it, and I'll be checking out about it. But yeah, basically, you have 3 people that have effectively nuked their own careers. You have the quartering, who basically got.
What?
What?
No, sorry, folks. I'm a bit distracted because there's a bug in my room and I'm trying to kill it. So that's why I'm a bit quiet at the moment. But when it comes to this whole situation, she should have immediately distanced herself from it, but she didn't. In fact, she rushed to the defense of the quartering without any kind of time to prepare. And also, she lied. Nina told her everything. Nina's not a liar.
Yeah. She was like more like I would say not really rushing to the defense of the quartering, but she's rushing to the defense of Melody, even though Melody is
That's the same thing
quartering.
at this point.
So that's on. Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Or
like, it's not
just
a
for the
exact defense.
Or as I like to call them, the quartering club.
So this is from May 9th. This is the friend on the side of deplatforming. Don't bow to the cancel mob ever. And to be community noted is amazing in this day and age. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Context: the cancel mob in questions consists of herself and her boss, Jeremy Handa, aka the quartering, who in recent months have been flagging and taking down any form of legitimate criticism regarding their dubious practices. This is the one who can cancel out any concerns. This is the one you trust.
I'm surprised she didn't delete that post already.
Yeah, no,
because you left it up.
I think she's. I think she's way in over her head that she's right, especially like ever since she was like ever more into this, and for lack of a better reason, because there's not her religious beliefs that she's always right and everything. She can hide behind everything with her religious stuff. And again, this is not a take on religion. This is just her taking everything that is against her, any form of criticism that is either woke Satanists or just the devil and evil works and that God's gonna save her. Everything is consisting of that, which basically defeats all logical purpose. And I know that a lot of people are gonna agree with her because they're in the same boat and they draw their morality from the same place. But I think, and I know a lot of Christians and a lot of very, very devout Christians that don't do that. They still operate in logic, and they disagree with that notion, because even though you might have your belief and that you're going to have, let's say, your revelation and whatever, you still need to operate and defend your actions while you're on this earth, because you still have not been raptured or whatever they want to do. And she doesn't do that. Everything to her is like, I'm on the right side. That's how she's been operating for at least several months now.
It's been a lot more than a few months, because also, if nobody has had a chance to take a look at it, over on the Side Scrollers channel, Craig actually did a stream about a couple of weeks ago whenever Jeremy was pretty much threatening him, saying like, I'm going to expose our DMs to show like your hypocrisy and all that stuff. And he decides like, great, I'll show them off first. And then showing off like the conversation that him and Mel had, because remember, Melanie Mac was a regular on Side Scrollers before the quartering came and swept her away. Yeah, because this has been going on for a while, and pretty much she was just doing everything that she could to literally protect the quartering and everything that he's been doing. So she's deep into she's deep in the trenches on defending the quartering and all of his actions.
Yeah.
As part of that contingent that Razorfist was a part of. And I remember when it came to the side scrollers, they had to basically choose between Smash and Razorfist, and they decided, and it was the decision of Stuttering Craig to support Smash over Razorfist, because Razorfist had gone too far on a, by my standard, going too far means you have gone too far. And you're seeing the same with the quartering. You're seeing the same. Come here, you bug fucker. I'm going to kill you. It's like this bastard keeps flying near me, you twat. I probably shouldn't be saying this as Jew Digny, bugs flying over me, but you get my drift. Okay? We are dealing with an egregious cohort that are going insane, right? You can be a lunatic online as long as you're honest about it. But they're not. They're hypocritical. They're lying. And to give Kino Casino some credit, they're experts at sniffing out liars and putting their own comedic twist on it.
True. The thing is that
crazy.
And it all boils down, by the way, to, first of all, and let's be honest, Quartering also wouldn't have been in this situation if he didn't overshare like a drunken idiot. I mean,
this is true.
We all have things that we wouldn't share on the internet and we wouldn't share in the public. He apparently doesn't, because the stories that I heard from June the King's documentary was like, okay, I knew about the Walmart story, even though I did not know details about the Walmart story. He provided he basically sold out his Walmart story for $500, which, okay, cool, but that's on the internet now. That's for everyone who doesn't like you or who just wants to hate on you or troll you to use against you. And he continued for years to just add to those things, like the pissing on his dog, the pissing in a bucket, the pissing around the house that he was bragging that he owns. All right, guy, you're proud of being able to piss everywhere in your house. That still doesn't mean that it's not going to be used against you. This is like when you're being read your rights. Everything you say can and will be used in the court of the internet. And when someone doesn't like you and they're motivated enough, they're gonna fucking find anything for you, and it's then on you to be able to have a thick enough skin to withstand it. And he doesn't.
Breaking news, folks. I can now speak properly on the panel again because I've killed that motherfucking bug. It wasn't a moth. It was too quick to be a moth. It's some kind of well, it's slightly bigger than a moth, and it's nowhere near as fluffy, but I did get it in any case. Maybe it was a mosquito, which, a Jew killing a mosquito. Isn't that like
that's
isn't that like a ironic? But
that might get you in trouble.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
though.
Yeah, mosquito. We're dealing with a situation that, quite frankly, could have been avoided. And I think that's the most lamentable part of this whole debacle, right? And it will continue as long as the fire is being inflamed by the quartering, Jeremy Hambley, who set all this off when he started false flagging people.
True.
Until that is addressed, until those creators get their channels back, all of them, then this is not going to end. I think we're all agreed on that point.
Yes.
And if it does not end, then more and more people are going to get damaged by this. A lot of people are going to question the people around Chrissy Mayer. It's like, well, you work with this lady. Surely there were signs, or maybe there were signs and you didn't tell us about them because you were benefiting from collaborating with her. And then suddenly everyone around Chrissy gets targeted, including Toasty, who is a lovely lady. Jace and me got connected courtesy of Toasty, right? I've worked with her a lot, and she's a lovely lady. But how long before the people who are capitalizing on the quartering situation point fingers at Toasty, being like, well, didn't you see the signs of Chrissy being a bad person? Or were you covering it up because you're a grifter? And then she gets pulled in. And she won't be the only one either. And the same goes for the circle around the quartering, the circle around Melanie Mac, and everyone gets sucked in, and the circular firing squad begins to happen. Because, as was mentioned earlier on in today's show, a lot of creators, not all, but a lot of them, do make names for themselves by saying, I took down the quartering. I took down Nick Ricator. I took down Anita Sarkeesian, right? In fact, that was the entire basis of the original Gamergate, wasn't it? I took down this egregious individual, which spawned an entire generation of pop culture content creators.
And now that Parasite is back, Anita Sarkeesian.
Yes.
Sadly.
And
somehow
boy,
she returned.
And boy, that cat is dry. It's like someone get some water for that dry pussy. Come on. Come on, man. Well, that's what she wants, but that's not going to happen, folks. And we do like to keep shows around 2 hours, folks, for the peace of mind of the entire panel. Oh my, it was a xenomorph. No, it was just this little thing, right? I killed it, folks, and then it landed on my Bible. I don't know if that is a message or not, but
yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I killed it with my hands. I slapped my hands together. It created a thunderous sound, and then it landed on the Bible. Hopefully, that's not a sign from God. Okay, please. I want to be a real boy, God. I want to be me. But yeah, we appreciate everyone for being here. Last time I checked, we were only 2 likes away from 30, and 30 likes for a show is very impressive.
It's amazing.
Especially if we're only focusing on one topic. But let's face it, guys, as long as it's enjoyable for us and for you guys watching, we're going to keep talking about it. That is the nature of content creation. We will stop talking about a topic when the panel gets sick of it and when the audience gets sick of it. And that's the thing about topics of the day. They come and go, but this situation is very enticing for people because we all want to be in an industry that is self-sustaining and is positive. We don't want people like The Quartering or Nick Ricator or Boogie2988 or Killer Keemstar or the various other examples of creators out there dragging our medium down. We want to keep on going, keep on growing, and ideally keep on improving and bring new generations of creators into the fray. That is exactly what this network is designed to do. And welcome to the cancel mobsters, folks.
We're sorry you feel that way.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for that.
Hosted by The Quartering, with regulars Chrissy Mayer, Melanie Mack, Razorfist, John Delaroz, and John F. Trent. Their first special guest is the infamous David Jaffe, where they will be talking about why he trounced his kid for money. So that's going to be very interesting.
No, it's going to be Chris Tyson.
Oh, boy.
Oh, damn, man. It's so sad because I'm sure at one point in time, as was referenced earlier on in today's show, Helzo, you did with The Quartering, at one time, 10 years ago, a panel like that would have done gangbusters, right?
Yep.
Even JDA 10 years ago was respectable. Now he's fucking despised, rightfully so. But that kind of panel 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, would have been one of the most popular pop culture content creation shows out there, quite frankly. Chrissy Mayer, 5-year regular of Friday Night Tights. The Quartering, one of the most well-known pop culture content creators out there. Melanie Mack, pop culture defector who got cancel mobbed by GameStop online, right? Got Razorfist. Ben Shapiro in black and white, who looked cool. And who's the other one? Oh, yeah, John F. Trent, a man so talented he lost control of his own company. I'll never get over that. How the fuck do you sell out bounding into comics? Yes, Dan. Yes, this was made for me, so I'd look like the quartering. Oh, look, we're sponsoring the same group. Isn't that interesting, Dan? It's very interesting. But we appreciate everyone here. Thank you all very much. We were going to talk about other topics for today's show, but this was the main topic. This was the main topic. Hopefully, we won't be talking about this next week, but we probably will.
It started to become a trend that we go back to topics for part 2, part 3. Sadly, because they don't seem to go away as quickly as they before.
And before we find out quartering is an Israeli psyop.
Oh my god!
You know what? At this point, we're in 2026. Every conspiracy theory that we thought of having in the last 10 years has proven true. I wouldn't discount anything at this point. Nothing. Like if the sun blew up tomorrow, yeah, okay, we expected it. If the aliens come and they were like us, sure. If Jews turn out to be secret Nazis, sure.
How about you? Be quiet, Helzo.
Never.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the future plans segment, and we're going to start off with Kai. What are your future plans, Kai?
Future plans, after making my way out through the bowels of the horror that was inside of Roger, I'm going to try to get back to building up my streaming platform again, and I'm either thinking of either streaming a Pragmata or Mouse PI first.
Not mixtape?
Hell no. I'll leave that all up to you.
I would suggest if you want an opinion, I would suggest going with Mouse PI.
Okay.
It's a very, very cool experience and a very relaxing one.
All right. Sounds like an idea. Sounds like a plan.
My goodness, folks. The quartering is watching this live stream because we lost 3 likes. Went down from 28 to 25. You YouTube pants, you. Don't worry, Maverick. Like the stream. Let's get it back up to 28 likes, folks. I hate it when YouTube does that. I hate it when that happens. Okay. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's YouTube curbing your expectations.
I think Kada is streaming mixtape, folks. I think he is. I think he's streaming it right. He should be streaming it right now. He's going
like
live
3 hours.
6 minutes. No, he's going live in 6 minutes talking about mixtape playthrough. Oh no.
I would rather flush my own head down the toilet.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get the money. You know what these blacks
I've told people it would cost $200 to get me to play mixtape.
Look, I wouldn't ignore a roadkill hard super chat that wasn't apparently hard enough for Chrissy May to play mixtape. Yeah, I do have a price on this, and mainly because it's only 3 hours long and you only press 2 buttons, and I can probably bleach my eyes for the tongue scene.
Breaking, we have a screenshot of the quartering without his beard.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Told you it's an Israeli psyop.
Oh no. This is bad, man. So this isn't like
Jeremy
Dustborn, where you can make like multiple donation streams off of Dustborn, because my mentor did that and it was very lucrative. It's only a 3-hour game.
Yep, 3 to 4 hours, and you play and you push 2 buttons.
I'm not spending $15 on a 3-hour game.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That's all the things.
But how about you, Elzo? What are your future plans?
I finally managed to do a Monday video today again about mixtape because of what has been going on with that game and the Nepo baby funding that it had. At the future, I'm going to be continuing with Pragmata, and yes, Kai, Pragmata is also a bliss Both games would be amazing. I wanna finish it and finally do some Crimson Desert. Kind of buy it and install it because I've been almost gifted it for a month now before I get to Gothic 1 remake in June. Other than that, just making videos, making streams, making sure that the channel is alive and trying to survive in my corporate job. If not, well, there's always the village.
Yeah. Well, it's a damn shame you're not a woman because there's always the streets for them, folks. My future plans, folks, are very simple. More videos, more shows, more videos from said shows. Folks, to tie in the other two topics we were going to talk about in a very concise way, the quartering. I hope Kim Jong-un nukes your house. Failing that, I hope you get hantavirus through cuckery.
I think this sums up everything we've been saying for the past 2 hours from the other Jeremy. Simple rules for the internet. Don't act like you're better than other people. When you fuck up, and you will fuck up, own it. Bonus points for not using religion and children as a shield against criticism.
Wise words.
Guys,
He said a little more, but yeah.
Guys, he didn't say spears. We can still use spears as a shield. Okay? Well, actually, you should have a shield with your spear. But you get my drift, bro. You get it? Blood clat. But how about you, Jace? What are your future plans?
Well, it's Monday, so that's usually when I do my gaming on rumble.com/cancels podcast. I usually focus on MMOs for MMO Monday, so probably a little Final Fantasy 11, a little Dragon Quest 10. I'm going to try to keep it light on the Octo WoW, which is the replacement for Turtle WoW in terms of telling Blizzard to go F themselves. Just trying to keep things going. I've got a lot of work at my day job that I have to do because I have to somehow keep the lights on and bills paid. Would like to do some more videos. I promise when I cover a topic, I will not stretch it out to 16 videos with clickbaity fucking headlines and then go, my channel is under attack. Like, that's just insane. But look, I'm on Rumble. I'm always under attack. All right. So be sure to check us out over on rumble.com. Cancels podcast. John will not be available tomorrow for happy hour. So doubt that there's going to be anything there. There might be some game streaming later in the evening. I believe like his wife booked him for an appointment with a proctologist or some shit like that. I don't know, but we will be doing Cancels podcast at our typical Thursday nights, 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if John is able to sit down after wherever he's being taken to. In a Jewish household, wife pimps you out to Jewish bull.
So that's what it is. I was right the first time. John's getting a finger up his ass. So this Friday, folks, Alki John is going to join a special episode of reality-based Old White Road with all the other gay people because Dash can't make it because he's going on holiday with his boyfriend. But no, John's a house cat. He won't go anywhere. But if Tuesdays are free, folks, I don't know if anyone is free on Tuesday to do a network show. I forgot about that, in all honesty, Jace. If I had remembered, I'd be like, let's invite some people on to a Tuesday show and have a good time. But there's no way, because no one here is available. Not even the Quartering's wife is available on a Tuesday.
Oh boy, the Chicago Bulls.
Right?
He's on a basketball match. That's why.
No. A Chicago Bulls. So I thought you were gonna say the Pistons too. But,
unless we get Galaxy and Slay and Roadkill and Maverick, and we just find we get Nocturne on for a Tuesday show. We're not going to have a Tuesday show. Oh no. I'm
not sure I'll be able to make it tomorrow though. But
yeah, I mean, I would have done what I did the last time John missed a happy hour and hosted, but I have no guarantees I'll be home because I do have to actually work. So therein lies the problem.
And I ain't ever hosting a Zoom meeting, folks. I mean, for God's yes, they use Zoom, Helzo. It's mental. And they've got some like gay person funding them, something about 18 rail demon or something. He gets railed 18 times by a
By the way,
demon.
this was my logo for Happy Hour the last time I hosted it.
Oh. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so no Tuesday.
What a terrible date was this eyesight.
No Tuesday network show, folks. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK,
Yeah.
I am going.
You didn't ask me. You didn't ask me what I was doing.
Galaxy. I have to do DLC for my future plans now. Sorry, Galaxy. But at 8 p.m. UK tomorrow, I am going to put up Wednesday's network show for exactly 8 p.m. on Wednesday, because it's 24 hours maximum for Rumble. And we're going to hype up the Wednesday show. Galaxy's going to be there. Hopefully a ton of people will be there. Everyone's welcome if they can make it. So Galaxy, what are your future plans?
Okay, future plans. A little bit. Then about an hour and a half or so, I'm going to be playing more Crimson Desert. I'm also going to be playing Crimson Desert again tomorrow night because the gaming rant thing is gone. We're going to Saturdays, and I can't make that anymore. So, not at least for the streams anyway, but for my live streams. But yeah, and obviously Wednesday, you just said I'll probably be on there with you on the Rumble channel, and then that night I'm going to be playing. For Wednesday, I'm going to be playing Super Metroid, but not the Super Metroid that you know from Super Nintendo. It's a hack on Game Boy Advance. It's from they use Metroid Zero Mission on Game Boy Advance, and they hacked it and like converted it kind of into like Super Metroid. So it's like Super Metroid, basically the Game Boy Advance edition. That's what they call it. So that's what I'll be playing on Wednesday, and then nothing until. Yeah, I'll be playing Octowell off stream sometime this week, but that's anyway, yeah. But yeah, on like Thursday I won't have anything, or Friday except for again the Rumble exclusive Old Right Road Friday.
Nice. Excellent. Saturday. It's gonna be it's gonna be a special episode on Friday. We're hoping for a great turnout, and then we can tell Dash, this is how it's done. Oh, no. We like Dash. We like him very much. But thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the 35th and final episode of Discuss Things.
It's the last time. Nobody cares.
Always happening.
Always.
In a few weeks' time, that might actually be for real, because in a few weeks, Digny could be dead, his live action version released.
God.
And then we can do this show where it was supposed to be all along. But I don't have that kind of luck, so that's probably never going to happen.
Why did you do it, Helzo? I went on 60 Minutes. You turned everyone against Israel. I talked about it. The internet did this to me.
If I don't get bombed for today's show, we're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 more episodes before it's stolen from me. So at least I think Digny, you gotta confirm that this is the most that this show has survived with a single host.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? This is ironically, this could be the longest running panel show in the network's history.
That's hilarious.
Not grown up yet. Why don't you all collectively hate me yet? But no, it's actually less than 2 weeks. In less than 2 weeks' time, it will be the first anniversary of my time in exile. And on YouTube, that allows you a second chance policy, folks. So that's the reason for why things could change. They're not likely to, because when has YouTube ever brought back an exiled creator without, getting a Jew ball in their ass? But it could happen. It could. And the landscape's going to change a lot if that happens. You get the responsible version of live action me. We're going to bring on a lot more people because this show will be officially safe. We won't have AIDS anymore. And everything will be better off.
But all my roles have AIDS, right?
Oh, damn. Jace, just don't ever mention Danny Finkelstein again, for fuck's sake.
Oh, boy.
But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching today's show. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream, even a last-minute donation, we appreciate it. Until next time, hopefully there will be one. Bye for now, folks.
Thank you very much. Smile and wave, boys.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. And stay fresh.
Well,
Take
they
care.
can't see them waving.